Tonight, a chaotic confrontation and an arrest that went horribly wrong. Toronto police converge on a suspect wielding two knives.
First thing I heard a lot of people screaming.
And the shocking sequence of events that followed. The Liberal spending pitch ahead of the budget reveal.
It's an investment budget. It's a generational shift.
Will it get the support it needs from opposition parties to avoid a general election? Plus, an inspiring sports lesson in school spirit.
Dear Jays, I know that you guys are feeling down.
How fans poured their hearts onto paper to help turn a devastating loss into a sentimental win.
The whole world is proud of you guys.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a terrifying takedown video of a Toronto police cruiser rolling over a suspect and an arresting officer in Toronto. The dramatic 43-second clip was posted on social media. And a warning, some of what you're about to see is disturbing. CTV's Janice Golding starts us off.
An officer fires a taser and a suspect falls, dropping a metal object. And then a police SUV vacated by an assisting officer rolls. And when the officer returns behind the wheel, the video shows the cruiser surging forward instead of stopping, hitting both the suspect and one of the arresting officers. Mossad Bedran works next door and saw everything unfold.
First thing I heard a lot of people screaming, Then I'm coming from a restaurant and I see a lot of cops. It is follow the girl, have two knives.
Badran says an armed woman was walking around the parking lot damaging a Jeep along with a police vehicle.
He's just damaged the cars. I don't know why.
Melissa says police were actively looking for the suspect around 4 Saturday afternoon.
Two police officers came in basically asking me and my coworker if we seen a lady that was vandalizing cars.
And then about 15 minutes later,
go look outside the parking lot and then I see the cruiser, the cop cruiser kind of rolling away. And I see a bunch of cops trying to run and kind of stop it. So I'm thinking the lady got in and took it. But she was really under the cruiser.
Police say paramedics assessed both the suspect and the officer, and both were medically cleared, although the woman was taken to hospital for further assessment. Police adding, we are actively reviewing the circumstances and are grateful there were no serious injuries during this dynamic incident.
Ooh, wow!
No one seriously injured, but still not something these people who work at the Jane Park Plaza will soon forget.
We are busy, so that's time, so I don't know what happening, but I just saw the video. Oh my God, it's so damaged.
That was very, very shocking for me. A cop is in front of the car and then cop get down and holding the accused or whoever it is. And then car is coming on all of them. That was...
The SIU tells us they were not notified about this incident, likely because the suspect's injuries were not considered serious enough to alert Ontario's police watchdog. Janice Golding, CTV News.
Switching gears now to tomorrow's highly anticipated federal budget, Mark Carney's first since becoming Prime Minister. The stakes are high because the Liberals are in a minority government. They'll need at least some support from outside their own party. And if they don't get it, Canadians could be heading to the polls. CTV's Abigail Beeman on the shift in messaging on the eve of Carney's big test.
In the pre-budget day new shoe-buying tradition, the finance minister got hands-on at a factory, underlining build Canadian, buy Canadian.
The budget tomorrow is all about, it's an investment budget. It's a generational shift.
The government now only stressing investment.
C'est un budget d'austérité et d'investissement.
While in early September, just in French, Mark Carney also said austerity. Late October, a reference to sacrifices.
We won't transform our economy easily or in a few months. It will take some sacrifices.
Pounced on by opposition.
All our young Conservatives are fighting for homes, jobs, and hope, and they refuse to sacrifice their future.
We will not support an austerity approach.
There will be big spending in that budget, which goes against, I think, the logic of austerity. So there is a kind of tension here.
Desjardins economists predict the deficit will hit $75 billion.
I don't think you can characterize a $75 billion deficit as an austerity budget or austerity deficit.
There are obviously unanswered questions about just what is getting cut. Public service jobs most discussed. And the government has also promised to maintain some big-ticket programs and spend more on defense.
Austerity will mean different things to different people. And those who are most impacted will see the austerity. You can see public servants who are going to be impacted will view this as an austerity budget. The unions will view this as an austerity budget.
The Liberals are 3 seats shy of a majority, meaning they need some help from the opposition parties in order to pass this budget in the confidence vote ahead or risk heading to an election. Omar?
All right, Abigail Beeman in Ottawa tonight. Abigail, thank you. And to talk more about the prospect of an imminent election is CTV's chief political correspondent, Vassy Kapelos, who joins us now. And Vassy, how likely is that scenario?
Well, Omar, if you want to know just how high stakes politically this budget is going to be, look no further than the past weekend, where a number of people were till the 11th hour on Sunday evening still getting the details in place. And that is largely reflective of the fact that they were talking to the NDP over the weekend and adjusting based on those discussions in order to stay in power, of course, by winning over the support of the NDP. Things like backing away perhaps from a return to work mandate, things like cutting less across different programs or the public service than they had set expectations to be. So that is a space I would watch for when the budget is tabled. What exactly is the government going to do? Because they apparently have decided where they need to win support is with New Democrats. And then the other flip side of that question is, will it win the support of New Democrats? Omar?
The big question. All right, Vassy, thank you. And a reminder, you can watch our live coverage of the budget tomorrow from Ottawa, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, on CTV News Channel and at ctvnews.ca. Much of what is in the budget will be in response to Donald Trump's trade war. And this week, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear a case about a key tool in Trump's economic arsenal, tariffs. The court will hear arguments Wednesday in a case where some small businesses say Trump's use of emergency powers to invoke tariffs is illegal and has forced them to lay off employees and raise prices. Trump used those powers to impose tariffs on Canada and more than 100 other American trading partners. The showdown between the federal government and Stellantis intensified today after the industry minister revealed she is launching a dispute resolution process against the automaker. It revealed last month it was shifting production from Ontario to the United States. CTV's Michael Couture on the process and the possible outcomes.
If you make promises and then walk away, you will be held accountable.
A blunt message for Stellantis from the federal government. Before being questioned by a parliamentary committee, the industry minister said Ottawa is going after the car maker.
We'll start the 30-day period of the formal dispute resolution process in order to bring back production at the Stellantis Brampton facility.
In October, Stellantis announced it was moving production of its Jeep Compass from its Brampton, Ontario plant to Illinois. In response, the government capped how many vehicles Stellantis and GM can import tariff-free into Canada. Going to the dispute resolution process could be risky, according to this trade lawyer, because the automaker could play hardball.
I think what they would say is, look, Canada, if you really want to do this, take this approach, then, we might give you your money back and say goodbye to you.
And your government committed thousands, millions, and billions.
In a sometimes combative exchange, Conservative members of the parliamentary committee demanded to know if the contract with Stellantis spelled out job commitments in Brampton. Documents related to the building of the battery plant in Windsor, obtained by CTV News, clearly state Nexstar Energy and Stellantis committed to creating and maintaining 2,500 jobs at that plant. The contract for the Brampton plant has not been released.
She could have been very clear if her government made a 3,000 job commitment for Brampton or a broader Canadian footprint agreement. She was not clear on that. That tells me there isn't one.
Minister Joly told the committee the car plants in Windsor and Brampton are linked, as are the contracts, adding MPs will be able to see that when the Brampton contract is presented at another committee. Omar.
All right, Mike, thank you. CTV's Michael Couture in Ottawa tonight. The Premier of BC says his province has abandoned plans for a series of anti-tariff ads aimed at American audiences.
So we committed to the federal government
that when the time comes to be speaking directly to Americans, we'll do it in partnership with them. We will not be running the ads by ourselves. We'll make sure that we're in line with strategy going forward.
BC's decision comes after an anti-tariff ad campaign by the Ontario government infuriated U.S. President Donald Trump, who swiftly canceled trade talks with Canada.
I'd never apologize to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's trying to destroy our province, destroy our country, steal manufacturing jobs and auto sector jobs.
Ontario's premier said the Prime Minister called him several times from his recent trade trip to Asia to ask him to pull the ad, but he says he has a different recollection from the Prime Minister of the conversation they had before the spot ran. The ad was broadcast during the first 2 games of the World Series before being pulled October 27th. Doug Ford also said that while Carney has apologized to Trump for the ad, Ford will not. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is joining some other provincial leaders in denouncing a Supreme Court of Canada ruling on child pornography.
This is like one of the worst things that anyone can do. Not only should go to prison for a long time, they should bury you under the prison.
The High Court ruled last week that 1-year mandatory minimum jail sentences for accessing or possessing child pornography are unconstitutional and remove a judge's discretion to impose sentences other than imprisonment. Manitoba's Criminal Defense Lawyers Association criticized the Premier's remarks, suggesting, quote, vigilante justice. Alberta's government is facing more backlash tonight over its program requiring people to pay for a COVID shot. And as CTV's Kathy Lee finds out, it's coming as supply chain issues are creating a shortage of vaccines.
This box and one other are all that's left of the Pfizer COVID vaccine in this Edmonton pharmacy.
On average, it's always 4 to 5 people every day asking for the vaccine.
With demand outstripping supply,
we have to turn them away.
A shortage of the shot also happening at various locations, including this one in Calgary.
We have no transparency right now into the supply chain, so we have no idea when more vaccine will be coming or how much we'll get.
As part of the province's new COVID-19 immunization program, most Albertans have to pay at least $100 for the shot, except for those deemed high risk, including healthcare workers. Pharmacies get their vaccines from Pfizer Canada. The company says due to increased demand, it has implemented temporary allocation measures to help manage supply and ensure equitable distribution across pharmacies and wholesalers, and that additional inventory is expected soon. Some haven't had issues getting the vaccine.
Pharmacists had said to me, I have a limited number of COVID shots. Would you like to get one? I'll put your name on the list. I feel lucky, that I was able to get it.
Others faced some challenges.
We were told that we would have to wait to be put on the wait list.
Albertans can also go to public health clinics run by the government to pay for their shot, but some say the wait is long, and others, like this man, say the process is frustrating.
We've had to go back and forth through ill-defined processes and dealing with staff at the public health care clinics that don't know what's going on.
The government-run immunization program primarily administers the Moderna vaccine, and the province confirms there is no shortage and that it doesn't play a role in private procurement or distribution. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Some good news for Jays fans tonight. John Schneider has been named one of the finalists for American League Manager of the Year. It comes after a tough loss this weekend, but as CTV's John Venevelli-Rao reports, the defeat isn't getting in the way of the inspiration the Jays' incredible run has generated.
While much of the country was caught up in Blue Jays fever for the last month, for those wanting to make it to the big leagues, the playoff run, regardless of outcome, was hugely inspiring.
It gives me extra motivation to come in here.
This Blue Jays team is really motivating. I'm here just getting work in, trying to get to another level.
Every kid at this training facility in Burlington, Ontario, has dreams of playing at least college-level baseball in the U.S., and many swinging for the majors, including 11-year-old Mateo, who last week told us he wants to play for the Blue Jays so much he'd sign with them, even if it meant a pay cut.
If I was getting more money somewhere else, I would still want to go to the Jays. I want to play in the Rogers Center.
And facilities like this now anticipating a surge in interest, with the Blue Jays' World Series appearance getting more young people excited to play the game.
It grows it. It grows baseball. It makes it where it's real, it's an achievable dream.
Now, according to Baseball Canada, across the country last year, nearly 250,000 Canadians registered to play the sport. After the incredible World Series wins in '92 and '93, more kids started playing baseball. It was the same after the playoff runs in 2015 and 2016. And now another bump is expected in the spring.
It's exciting. I mean, it creates some capacity challenges for us to be able to handle, all the people that want to start to play baseball, but that's a good problem for us to have.
Baseball Canada notes the girls' side of the game has also seen significant growth in recent years, and that too could see a boost. And it's hoped, thanks to the interest generated by the Jays, there may be more Canadian stars on the field in the years to come. John Benavalli-Rouse, CTV News, Burlington, Ontario.
Lots to be proud of. Coming up, what happened to the worker trapped under a collapsed medieval tower in the heart of Rome? Prince Harry will be in Canada this week for a series of events ahead of Remembrance Day. Harry's office confirms he'll be in Toronto at the invitation of the True Patriot Love Foundation, which supports members of the military, veterans, and their families. The Duke of Sussex will be in the city on Wednesday and on Thursday. In a country where Prince Harry once served as a soldier himself, Afghanistan has been rocked by a devastating 6.3 magnitude earthquake. At least 20 people have been killed and more than 600 others injured after the quake struck near Mazar-e-Sharif in the north. It's one of the country's largest cities and home to about 500,000 people. Officials fear the death toll could rise significantly as crews dig through the rubble. The investigation into a mass stabbing on board a train in the UK over the weekend is expanding. A 32-year-old suspect is facing 11 counts of attempted murder tonight in the attack on passengers. Police are now also trying to determine if there's a connection to 3 other recent stabbings, including an attack on a 14-year-old on Friday. And the shocking collapse today of a medieval tower in Rome captured on video. A worker was trapped in the rubble of the 13th century building near the Colosseum, which had been undergoing reconstruction. After hours of delicate rescue attempts, crews were able to free him, though he ultimately passed away in hospital. Tributes are pouring in for 3-time Oscar nominee Diane Ladd, who died today in California.
Well, honey, I sure would hate to have breakfast with you every morning of my life.
Ladd had a long career on stage and TV before her Oscar-nominated role in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. She earned another Best Supporting nod for Wild at Heart in 1990. A year later, Ladd and Laura Dern became the only mother-daughter duo to receive Oscar nominations for the same film for Rambling Rose. In a statement, Dern wrote, "We were blessed to have her. She's flying with her angels now." Diane Ladd was 89. Still ahead. The big way these little dolls are honoring the legacy of a Canadian soldier. As we approach Remembrance Day, Canadians are finding ways to honor the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. An Ontario retirement home has found a way to pay tribute with something small that will make a big impact. CTV's Katie Griffin has the story.
All right.
Inside these boxes,
I think you're gonna need more cards.
yeah, precious cargo.
I did 225 myself, and it's been a joy to do them for the kids.
Noella Claroux is a resident at Kemptville Retirement Living. She and others knitting hundreds of Izzy dolls.
We had a knitting club on Tuesday, and we all got together and we all knit.
The dolls, symbols of friendship and peace, are named after Master Corporal Mark Isfeld. He was killed by a landmine while on tour in Croatia 31 years ago. Before his death, his mom made dolls he distributed to children wherever he went.
We have 883 Izzy dolls with us today.
His legacy living on.
It's amazing. In one swoop, they've given us more dolls than we raised all of last year.
The group donating the dolls to the Canada Aviation and Space Museum.
So what we do with them is after November, we pile them together and we send them over to health Partners International Canada, HPIC, who use them as packing materials for their medical kits that they send out to places in need.
Dolls are then distributed to local children.
And of course, I had to hop on board. We had so many donations of wool, every different color and kind, and it was just fun to pick out different ones and make our own creations.
It's something to do together. A lot of these ladies would knit in their room before, and now they come and they gather in the main lounge and they knit together.
Making a big impact, one tiny doll at a time.
Really like a picture of kids receiving them to put up in our home.
Katie Griffin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Still ahead, how these kids are honoring Canada's baseball heroes. Canadians from coast to coast have been embarking the Blue Jays' historic season and crushing World Series loss in a lot of ways and with a lot of emotion. As CTV's Andrea Case shows us, some of the youngest fans are taking it as an opportunity to say thank you.
A group of kids in the principal's office usually spells bad news, but for this quintet at Gantasetiagon Public School in Pickering, this is an exercise in gratitude after a tough loss for the Blue Jays in Game 7 of the World Series. The kids are still repping the team.
Look at this jacket. Who made this jacket for you?
Mommy.
Was this your Halloween costume?
It was a bummer. It was not, but they can get it next year. I was very sad. I started crying, and I'm like, we stayed up for nothing, and they lost. But I still feel very sad for them. I was disappointed, but I still had faith in them.
Principal Justin Abdelkarim wanted to help his students get over the loss.
I framed it around, why don't we do a letter writing campaign so that we can tell the Jays how we really feel about them, because if they're feeling down, we're teaching the kids here that you don't just leave your friends, you don't just leave family or anything like that. You go and help them out.
Dear Jays, I know that you guys are feeling down.
The students put pen to paper and poured out their feelings for a team which went from last to almost first.
I feel like you guys basically did the impossible. You guys worked so hard to get this far, and the whole world is proud of you guys. Even though we lost, we won't give up on you.
The letters have helped, but it may take a while for them to get over the loss.
Do you feel better writing the letter?
No, I'm still just sad for them, but I feel a little bit better. Keep going and don't give up. We got next year.
Looking around Principal Abdelkarim's office is easy to see he was a Blue Jays fan long before they got into Game 7, and even has pictures on the wall to prove it. Now perhaps he too will join the kids in the letter writing campaign. Andrea Case, CTV News.
The ultimate lesson in getting right back up. That's a snapshot of this Monday for all of us at CTV National News. Thank you for watching. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow on Budget Day from Ottawa.
Canada's #1 newscast for excellence in journalism.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina, winner of the Canadian Screen Award for Best National Newscast. Watch weeknights at 11.